Welcome back. Now the fun begins. Front end's all well and good because you can riv knot it on, you can adjust it, not carry on. The back actually involves some serious cutting. As you can see, you're going to have to cut away the inner arch. This car's had some sort of a kit fitted before, so in theory I should just have to cut along where the arch meets the tub and try and build a new tub out to meet the kit, but it's not going to be simple. It's one of the jobs I've been putting off because I really can't face doing it, but it has to be done. It's all trial and error. As I said, I've never done this before. I've tried to look it up on the internet, but you don't really get many definitive guides on how to do these things. It's all really done by body men and people that don't have time to start doing full video guides. So we'll give it a go, see how it goes, but no guarantees it's going to turn out just the way I want it, but sure. So the best way I can think of to do this without getting covered in sparks standing underneath the arch is to measure up to the tub, like so. That's about 5 1/4. Go back to the outside, measure down about 5, mark it on. Just sort of means that then I can take it back up in stages whenever I'm ready. I don't want to take too much and end up having to weld down to the tub again. So I'll try and do this the whole way out around it. Join the dots and then get the grinder out. I think I got my money's worth out of that cutting disc. There probably were quicker ways to do that and less agricultural ways to do that, but wanted to do it carefully so that I wasn't going to wreck anything in the process. The tub comes out to meet where I've cut. I cut up very carefully along the whole side, and it needs buffed back obviously, and the sharp edges all need cleaned up and a wee bit more needs taken off some places. I've left the bottom 2 edges because the kit sits in over those and I might be able to get some sort of a rivet into those. But I'll try the kit on here now for size and see how it looks. these things to fit is a very, very time consuming process. Okay, in theory, that's where the arch needs to sit. It sits nicely onto the arch lip there. On this side, needs a wee bit more of it. On this side, however, I'm going to need to cut the bottom bit off and top out to it, I think. I don't honestly know how much or how wide these kits need to sit, but I'll work it out, I suppose. As long as they're both the same on each side, and as long as front and back it looks something similar. Just trying to work that out from by eye is the issue. I'll stick the tape on from the inner wing to the arch lip and see if that makes a difference. But yeah. Okay, so that's the kit fitted to the correct measurements sent through by Thomas Howard. Thanks again, Thomas, really appreciate that. It saved me a lot of head scratching. So one thing that's amazed me is the kit isn't actually as wide as I always thought it was. That's a 15x8 XXR on there, and it's actually not that deep into the arch. I thought it was going to look like a space saver, but as it turns out, they're actually not that different. So I was very conservative whenever I was cutting the arch because I didn't want to go too far and have to weld it all back on. So I left the lip at the bottom on both sides. And just about see it in there maybe. I left the bottom lip on so that I could rivet to it. So it's worked out well on this side. It comes up to about here, the original lip. So I'll be able to put a couple of rivets in down here to secure it. On this side, it sits out further, so this is now redundant. I will get this chopped off, and in theory, that's this side ready for final fitment. I just need to get the panel bond ordered up and work out how the flip I'm going to do that. I think from talking to a couple of body men, they have told me that the best way to go about it is to use panel bond with self-tappers to secure it initially while it's drying, and then remove the self-tappers because the panel bond now in today's standards is good enough to hold it on itself. So I think I might go down that route, solely because I've seen a lot of Xpack cars. You tend to look at them more, tend to research them whenever you're building one for yourself. But I've seen a lot of Xpack cars that the rivets have come through the filler, and you can see it after a while. The filler all drops and it just doesn't look great in my opinion. So the less rivets the better. Obviously I'll be riveting it along the bottom where you can't see it, or in the wheel arch and stuff, but along this gap up here, along here and along down here, I don't really want any rivets on that if I can help it. So yeah, the other side of course will be the repeat of this side. I'll not bore you with that detail. Whenever you come back, hopefully it should be to start getting the arches, the rear arches, properly bonded on. I mean, it could change. I've about 10,000 things to do yet, so I could get bored and do something else, but we'll see. Thanks for watching for this episode. I appreciate you all taking the time to watch, share, like, subscribe. I'm mainly doing this for a bit of fun, but it is nice to see the numbers grow. So yeah, if you like what you're seeing, please do share it. Feel free to share it on social media and on give it a like, give it a subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, thanks again. Bye.